Recently, Marlon Wayans went to 92.3 The Beat and he was on a podcast interview. He was then asked about the situation with Diddy in 50 Cent's new documentary.
Hey, Marlon, have you seen that the documentary, the 50 Cent
No, I
documentary
haven't seen it yet.
for Diddy?
I haven't seen it.
Oh man, you working
Everybody
hard.
telling me you got to see it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Hello again, friends. So word on the street is that Marlon Wayans is actually gay. That's I've been hearing that through the grapevine these past few hours that Marlon Wayans has turned his booty cheeks over. And now that everything's been talked about with the Diddy documentary and the things that went on in that documentary, you have people out there who say, well, I don't know. I never seen anything. I wasn't there. Sex, I wasn't there. Like, they were just bucking the fuck out and fucking saying that they wasn't there for certain things. Now, we're going to continue on with this video, but as always, like and subscribe. Subscribe to Third Street, and let's get on with the video.
Probably don't want to see it
You probably don't.
because it's all skewed, man. Like when you put stuff together, you create whatever narratives you want to, and at the end of the day, everybody being programmed. Right now the man's serving time.
Right.
He went before the court. The court said this, and everything is God. But God said this is what he got to do. He got to do 5 years in pen. Let him do his 5 years.
He would continue to talk more about it.
We ain't baby all close.
Nah, you stupid.
But yo, look, Puff is
Nah.
Puff,
You
Puff,
working with
I've known
Pac?
Puff for 30 years.
You saw Big before he passed?
Yeah.
Bro, so you're close. And Jack, what were you saying?
In the documentary, there was insinuations of, that Diddy possibly had something to do with both Tupac and Biggie. And,
Who's telling the story?
I like how he was like, yo, who's telling the story? Like, as if 50 Cent didn't spend all his time. Because from what I was hearing, I think he spent like 10 years or something of his research of trying to like gather up every piece of the details and facts. So that way, when he did decide to come up with this documentary about Diddy, he wanted to make sure everything was concrete. And then when the trial happened with, the Cassie stuff and everything else that came along with it, it was perfect. And then from what I heard about the whole video photographer, that the video photographer might have not gotten paid. So he might have been the one to have given 50 Cent the footage. So it's funny because it's like you got guys like Marlon Wayne and so many others who's like, nah, man, Diddy was a good man and he did nothing wrong. And it's like, but the fact is that you defending a man who've had, was responsible for the deaths of Tupac and Biggie, right? And Shook is, not out of the clear, but it was solely Diddy who was, put out a whole, what was it? $1 million bounty on both their heads. And it's like, come on. Well, when I mean by both their heads, I mean by like Shook and Tupac, or heads of he wanted them going and shit like that. But it's just like, to have guys like him to defend it, it's like, well, he did nothing wrong. It's like, no, you an idiot. And most likely you was doing something at those parties. That's why you don't want your name to be exposed, or you don't want certain things to get out. But we shall continue on.
Right? You can skew
People very close to the situation.
but you can create any narrative as a producer and as a director and as a storyteller. I can create a narrative. I could be like, you know what?
You have?
I could create a narrative.
Well,
I
we
could be
see it all the time on reality shows. Like,
Nah,
on reality
that's right.
shows,
Yeah,
that's
you,
how
you're
they're
creating
created. You
a
write a
narrative.
character.
It doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's true. I can get interviews. I can do this. I can get footage. And I could make you think this about that person.
Nah, for sure, yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So for me, I think, look, 50 and Puff have a long-term beef. It's personal. It's
Well,
between.
people are saying 50's wrong for doing it, but 50's right for doing it. It's divided.
It's between him and Puff. And before it's between him and Puff, it's between both of them and God. Just the way Puff is down on his luck and 50's kicking a man when he's down.
So he's claiming that 50 Cent is kicking a man while he's down. But see, here's the thing though. That same man was basically kicking everybody down. He had so many people that should have blown up, who should have still been alive, and he destroyed so many lives. So for him to say, "Oh, he's kicking them while he's down," did he destroy so many lives? His reign of terror started in '92. He was taking people's souls. Well, let me not say that, but he was taking people's booties and virginities and was raping people since '92. So it's like, how can you say that he's kicking them while he's down when in fact 50 Cent is actually exposing the full-on truth of what's going on. Everybody's been afraid of Diddy for decades, and now all of a sudden you got this great documentary, by the way, that was #1 in the world, and 2, I think WWE took the spot, but that's besides the point, right? That everybody was afraid of him. Everybody was afraid of him. And now you have a person who's actually putting out there a documentary and exposing everything about this guy. He's out here defending it still, like, well, he's kicking him while he's down. And it's kind of wrong that he's kicking him while he's down. It's like, how? Explain to me how. Everybody was afraid of him for decades, and he's getting his comeuppance. He's finally getting his just deserves. Like, he screwed over so many people, beat up so many people, and raped so many people. He's getting what he deserves. Unfortunately, he should have spent longer time in prison rather than the time that he's gotten, but he should have done more years in prison. But instead, you're going to have people out there who's going to justify it and defend it. It was even weird when they said he wasn't going to do the RICO and he only got like a little bit of time, and you had people out there celebrating, throwing baby oil in the air. And it was dumb because he never really cared about any of those people, as we seen in the documentary when people was pounding his hand on the Apollo and he was around Harlem, right? He felt disgusted by the people that he was, shaking hands with, and said, oh, I need to take a shower. I need to be drenched in freaking alcohol because these people just, like, he felt disgusted. So those same people that were celebrating him and if they've seen the documentary, they might look at it differently. They might look at him differently, but still, to know that a person who's destroyed so many lives and yet you want to still defend that and say it's cool, I don't see any wrong with that. It's like, nah, Marlon, there's something wrong with you. I don't know. Something wrong with you, man.
God is gonna.
If 50 ever luck turn up on 50, that you got to be careful what you put out. There's a karma to every action that you do.
So basically, he's saying that anybody can spin a narrative. 50 Cent should be careful with all of this. And eventually, there became some back and forth between both of these guys. It's really complex, but I'll just talk about some of the basic stuff. 50 Cent ended up saying, keep my name out your mouth, boy. That's Marlon Wayans on White Chicks. And then, we ended up having 12 years as a slave. That's Marlon Wayans now. Let's think about this, 50. And so it went back and forth. They were posting about each other and all of that. Marlon Wayans would then respond with something else.
All right, so I'm going to make it abundantly clear. I'm not here defending Diddy. I am here because I got dragged into this because somebody asked me a question and I had an opinion. Nobody's wrong for giving an opinion about any subject, period. Not here defending Diddy. Don't let the narrative fool you or
you about to be one crispy nigga.
Get to you once again. Somebody's creating narratives. This is my point. So please look at the whole clip that I did and then look what happens with the narrative. And that's what I'm telling you. Y'all people don't be sheep. Use your brain, use your freedom of thought.
So I guess the narrative is that Diddy's not a rapist. He didn't allegedly and most likely had responsibility for people ending up dead in 96 and 97. And you saying he had nothing to do with that? He's saying, oh, I'm not out here defending him, but people out here spinning narratives, and it's like, what's a narrative? So you telling me all of the things that this man did in his life and his rise, you saying that all of this was spent differently, that he was a nice man, he screwed over nobody, right? And he didn't beat up Cassie, and that's AI. That's what you're basically saying. That's what it just sounds like to me. Like he's just defending and very coping about certain things about the documentary. I'm telling you, this man got some skeletons in his closet. I'm telling you, Marlon got skeletons in his closet. Because anybody who was on social media saying ain't no party like a Diddy party, and you out here celebrating and wishing for this man to come home, it's like, nah, Marlon, I don't know what's going on with you, man. Then this is why people gonna be looking at him crazy and gonna lose a little respect for him, because they're gonna be like, oh, so you're okay with supporting a guy who's beating up on women and blowing up people's cars and threatening people, but yet you out here trying to make it seem like Diddy was an innocent man, saying, oh, well, I'm not trying to defend him, but it's best not to kick him in while he's down. Yeah, a guy who's been terrorizing people for decades and screwing over people for decades. Yeah, all right, Marlon. Okay, Marlon.
Freedom of speech, and don't ever let nobody bully you. Never. Don't let nobody bully you. You got me? Love. Back to trolling this troll.
All right, so, there he is talking about he had an opinion, right? And so, to be honest, this is okay for now. But then it gets worse. Let me tell you what I mean. So you have this guy on Twitter by the name of Ariel. All right, and this is going viral right now. This guy says, Marlon Wayans, I know you're not talking. I will say allegedly for the smidgen of respect I have left for you. This is what's been floating around. Marlon Wayans has spent 3 decades cultivating a hyper-heterosexual, womanizing comedic persona. White Chicks, scary movie franchise, stand-up routine centered on female anatomy, while privately maintaining a fluid sexual spectrum that includes long-term relationships with men. Multiple people inside his inner circle. 3 former personal assistants, 1 ex-bodyguard.
Nigga, that's gay. Cut that out.
What the fuck? What the fuck? He said bodyguards is out here confirming that Marlon Wayans he's been doing what? You see, I'm telling you, you've been at them Diddy parties for way too long. You know, turning them out, showing them all types of interesting developments there, and fun curricular activities that's been on Diddy's board, and said, "Oh, sniff this, by the way, because you need to be prepped for class. Now turn over." Oh my God, Marlon. Oh, that nigga said, "Hey, Marlon, say cheese." Oh God, let him finish. Even pause.
And 2 industry producers under NDA breach protection spoke on a recurring same-sex encounters dating back to the In Living Color era, 1990-94, with at least 4 documented male partners between 1998 and 2023.
Nigga, that's gay. Cut that out.
Primary relationship, a 9-year on and off involvement with the Los Angeles-based entertainment attorney named Silk, practicing at a Century City firm from 2008 to 2017, including shared travel on private jets, tail numbers. Listen, this dude got tail numbers in N724KF.
Game over.
All right, hold on. Let me see. They said multiple people inside his inner circle, 3 former personal assistants, and 1 ex-bodyguard, and 2 industry producers under NDA breach protection spoke on a recurring same-sex encounter dating back to the Living Color era, 1992 to 1994, with at least 4 documented male partners between 98 and 2023. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just had to reread that again. I said, huh? Wait, what? See, here's the thing. It's none of our business that what any celebrity or anybody does. Really none of our business, right? But it's just, it goes to show you that how much of these guys, these DL men is out there. There's a plethora of them that's out there. And they may say one thing, but then they do another, right? And those are the ones that's really dangerous out there. They are a dangerous bunch of people out there, because they are the ones that you least expect, right? They're the ones that you would least expect, that the ones that will hurt you the most, right? And clearly, whatever that Diddy showed him or whatever that he was interested in, it shows a lot. It says a lot. Now, throughout the whole shtick of the Wayne brothers, right? They all had like that whole funny way about them, but Marlon was the only one that stood out the most out of all of them. He stood out the most, and maybe he was always like this, and he just never wanted to express his desires to come out, or maybe Diddy got to him. We don't exactly know what happened, but for him to be on his defense on Diddy, it's like, I mean, hey, Diddy was on the DL for a long time until all of this stuff got exposed. I mean, people knew about it, but they was too afraid to say anything about it. Some people did, but it's just that now Marlon is on that list of being a DL man, because if you got personal information and even his private jet numbers of like, oh, I was on his private jet and certain things was happening. Now, if there's more DM messages that gets leaked or exposed, like, oh, this is what he wanted, then yeah, you would have more. Look at Tyler Perry. He's another one. He loves white guys. He loves having sex with white guys. And even though he tried to penetrate one of the white guys or actors that he had on his show, and he said, I don't want nothing to do with that sounds weird, then he fired him, because he was like, I wanted to penetrate you and you told me no. And remember, everybody who is part of that circle who says you can't say no to me, it has to be yes. If you say no to me, I'm a blackball you, and you never gonna work in this town again. So Tyler Perry did it, Diddy's doing it, and Marlon's playing defense. Damn, Marlon, why you guys go say cheese, man? Fuck wrong with you?
In co-ownership of a West Hollywood condo, this is the name of the street, purchased 2011 till 2018. Financial trails showing $1.4 million in consulting payments routed through Wayans Brothers Entertainment to the Entertainments LLC between 2010 and 2016, far exceeding standard legal retainers. Second significant partner, a New York-based creative director, met on the set of 50 Shades of Black 2015, who received $680,000 in production bonuses and lived rent-free in Marlon's Tribeca loft. Looking at this, so-called bodyguard testimony to Post under protection 2022 details arranging discreet hotel suites in Atlanta, Miami, and Las Vegas for male guests with specific requests for no female staff on the floor.
There ain't no fucking way, bro.
And burner phones left at the door. Marlon's public support of his transgender child Kai, born 2000, and repeatedly Pride Month posts are genuine, but also function as preemptive narrative shielding. It has also been said there are private conversations where he refers to coming out as career suicide, given the $400 million Wayans brand equity tied to urban heterosexual comedy.
Well, of course it would be career suicide if he was to have come out and said, you know what, guys, I'm actually I'm part of that community. Granted, yes, it would be career suicide, because you would have a lot of people out there who would just go, oh my God, I can't believe he this and that, and then they would turning back. And then you would have more people that would encourage him and be supportive towards him. But then the question would be like, why did he wait so long? Right? And then you would have more people that would go, well, it all makes sense as to why he was defending Diddy and this and that. So it's why you have people like that who just remain in the closet and they don't really say anything about it. But the problem is that their discretion can somewhat hurt a lot of people if you're not telling people like what's really going on and you're keeping shit to your vest. Now, granted, like I said, it's nobody's business what you do like behind closed doors. But if you're behind closed doors and you're actually hurting people and you doing some fucked up shit, then it's like it says a lot about your character. And that's why everybody's looking at Marlon sideways. Like, if all of this is true, that he has been sleeping around with guys for years, then again, that's his business. But it's like now it's gonna make things more interesting, because it's like now you're defending Diddy and we're starting to look at him differently if this is all true. Like, yeah, he loved penetrating guys, he's been dating dudes for years, right? And man, this is crazy, but I'm gonna let him continue.
When we see this too, now this is interesting. Supposedly there is a 2021 text exchange recovered via forensic imaging of a seized phone. Has Marlon telling a male partner, I love you, but the world ain't ready and my checks damn sure ain't. This is not confirmed speculation from now. Two former assistants state that NDA packages for staff explicitly include clauses prohibiting discussion of the boss's personal dating life, male or female, with the liquidated damages set at $2 million per breach. No coercion, no minors, no criminality, just a man living a compartmentalized life that would fracture his core audience demographic and decades of marketed identity if full exposed. Information remains locked behind ironclad NDAs, family loyalty, and the financial incentives of the Wayans machines. And if you're wondering if I do have the...
See, Marlon is one of the smart ones because he got people signing like NDAs, so that means they won't be able to, speak out or say anything of, what's been going on behind the scenes. And I mean, you already have somebody who's already been confirming or saying a few things that was, taking place behind the scenes. But I mean, there's going to probably be more to come with the story about Marlon. But if not, then this is all that we got so far.
Name of those men he was secretly in relationship, I'll give you the one. The Atlanta-based occasional partner, Terrence T. Mitchell, a former music video choreographer turned real estate investor. The ball is in your court now, Marlon Wayans. Now, let me talk about this because there is some evidence. When you look at this and you hear what this guy is saying, it's easy to say, all right, this guy is not telling the truth. All right, this is just somebody, just whatever. So this is Marlon Wayans in the picture Okay, there you go. Now look at the gay Marlon. This is him, like Pride. Marlon Wayans. And yeah, just for the hate mongers, I'm posting another. As a father of a child in the LGBTQ community, I show my support. 0 Fs. What people think, if I lost you, good. Your hateful ass never loved me in the first place. How can you love anyone when you're too busy?
I mean, I guess if you're trying to do something like this, but I mean, if you're a person who support the community in the group, then it's fine. But I mean, I did hear people say that he didn't have to go this far and this way if you're not, I guess gay. But I don't know. It just makes it seem like maybe Marlon could be gay, but again, like I said, that's his business, and if he is, he is. But it's just that you you out here hiding stuff and keeping things a secret, and we don't know what else that he's doing behind the scenes, right? Because if there's more people like Epstein and Diddy, what if Marlon's on the list? What if there's more other people that's just like Diddy and Epstein? Not saying Marlon did anything to those levels, but you never know, because those guys like him that's always staying in the shadows, and it's like, why don't you come into the light? He's already rich. It's not like he's gonna lose any money, so it's like, you can just come out and just say like, listen, man, I like these things. I actually do these things, right? Because everybody who's been part of a big team or in a big circle all get exposed at some point, either because of their own stupid discretions, foolishness, or because they didn't have certain NDAs and clauses in place, that you had ex-employees that went out and exposed things. That's what happened to Diddy. So many ex-employees went out and exposed and said what he was doing, and now it's already too late because his public image is destroyed. So we shall see with Marlon. I'll let him continue.
Judging some of y'all funny, I'm a troll. I'll post all day. Happy Pride to all my friends, fans, and loved ones. I am happy for you, period. Okay, so this is him, doing this thing. Now, you have this picture, Marlon Wayans and Omar Epps. This looks okay. Now, you look at it, it's like, okay, this is a little interesting. All right, it is. Then you have this person saying, from a very reliable source, Marlon and Omar Epps are lovers and been effing for years. Sean not gay. Hashtag Diddy, Marlon Wayans.
And it would be worse if this was actually like a close friend or an ex friend of the Wayans family and circle that knew what was going on at the Wayne compound, and they was like, well, Sean isn't and Marlon is. And again, like I said, it's nobody's business if he is or he's not, or who he's sleeping with. But I mean, you got people out here slowly confirming, like, yeah. And then Omar Epps, I mean, I know they said that they went to school together and they was best friends and stuff, but I mean, if they out there penetrating each other, then okay.
50 Cent. Happy Pride to all my LGBTQ peeps, from my block to my schools to my cast and crews to my friends and family, wherever you are or have been in my life. I wish you all love and support. You can be a straight man and still love gay people. Huh? So what people are trying to say, bruh, is that you're not a straight man. And I mean, okay, that's fine. You do what you want to do. But I think this is what, people are concerned with, that you're coming to Diddy's aid because you have done some things.
I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. Even that poster look kind of sus though. I ain't gonna hold you. Look at that damn poster. Like the picture. Like, I think this was him where he was holding the dude. Like, that shit look kind of crazy.
You don't want anybody to know, and because you don't want anybody to know, that's your issue, right? You don't want anybody to know, so you're trying to hide it. That's how people are looking at it, and everything like that. You're protecting Diddy because you don't want anybody to know about what happened, and that's why you're protecting him. Again, I don't have a problem with what anybody is saying, but this is what they're saying right now. Okay, it's what they're saying right now. And if that's the case, it is all the way down bad. All right. So, you should have probably stayed out of this, because the evidence, the brother is saying you have never responded to this. It just looks bad, bro.
Well, I mean, if Marlon Wayans is Coco for Diddy Puffs, right, and he's down on the DLs and he's been penetrating men in the dark, that's on him. It's just that it's going to make everybody look at him much more differently because he's out here defending Diddy, who's been a menace for decades and terrorizing people for decades and blowing up people's cars and beating up women and taking men's virginities and women's and raping and graping and all types of shit that he shouldn't be doing. And yeah, but like I said, it's the people who you know, the people who you hang out with, and it's the secrets that you keep. So if you go outside and you know somebody who's doing these things, and yet you don't want to let the authorities know what they're doing, then it says a lot about your character, and it says a lot about what you probably participated with those said characters. But it's funny how he's out here trying to defend it and play damage control like as if Diddy was a great man. It's like, no, this man was a rapist, and you out here defending this shit like it's Tuesday's Christmas. It's like, nah, man, fuck that. You better be out here and confirming things that he's been doing. But I think he won't because he's out here penetrating men. But he may not be doing the things that Diddy's doing. We don't know. But he is doing a couple of things, and he don't want those things to be let out. So many people is coming out. It's so. Let me not. I don't really have a problem though. It's just is if you are into that, that's all you. But it's like. I disagree with he said if you're a straight man, everybody should like this. It's like, no, they may accept it, but they ain't gonna like it if that makes any sense because it has nothing to do with their life. It's just if you are, right, and it's none of their business. You're not gonna catch anybody who's gonna go to those types of parties or parades unless they have a friend, a family member that they're there to support, but they themselves, no, they're not gonna be there for that. But again, there's nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just, if you like women, you like women. If you like men, you like men. Or if you like both, you like both. It doesn't matter, right? As long as you're happy and as long as you're accepting of who you are and what you're about, I think that's the only thing that really matters. And the people that you love in your circle, that's the only thing that matters. But yeah, he's Marlon. Interesting. Very interesting. But that's been for today's video. Like, subscribe, and share, and subscribe to Third Street. And I catch you all in the next one.